Hello everyone and welcome to A Slice of My Life. In this video, we are taking a look at the CL2 camping light by Klarus. First of all, I'd like to thank Klarus for sending the CL2 over for me to take a look at and to show to you guys. Let's get into it with the unboxing. The front of the box has a pretty busy looking picture of the CL2 and the words folding camping light. Going around the box, you'll find the key features, some specifications, and more pictures of the various functions that the CL2 offers. Once you open up the lid of the box, you'll be greeted by a felt drawstring pouch that holds the CL2 and an accessories box. In the accessories box is a USB-A to C cable, as well as a USB-C to Lightning converter and the instructions manual. Now it's time to unveil the CL2. The CL2 is marketed as a free-folding, eye-carrying camping light, and it features an all-plastic build made of ABS and polycarb. Let's address this marking here. Yes, it doubles up as a power bank, boasting a capacity of 10,400 mAh. It has a flashlight at the bottom and has 4 foldable panels on the top half of the main chassis. These panels can be folded downwards individually by 90 degrees. In the middle is a silicone loop as well as a 1/4-inch threaded screw slot that allows you to attach the CL2 to a standard tripod. The silicone loop is wide and that allows more versatility in terms of hoisting the CL2 up. The overall length of the CL2 is 8.74 inches and is 2.2 inches wide and weighs 420 grams. Located behind a dust cover on the side are the USB ports. The USB-C port is used to charge the CL2, while the USB-A port serves as the output for the power bank. On the opposite side of the USB ports is the rubberized main switch. Operation of the CL2 revolves around this one single switch and is rather straightforward. Tapping the switch will turn on the main flood lamp and will cycle through the following modes with each subsequent click: warm white low, warm white medium, warm white high, cool white high, and to turn it off. Pressing and holding the power switch when the CL2 is off will activate the flashlight mode. Following that, each subsequent click of the power switch will cycle the CL2 through the following modes: cool white flashlight, flashing red floodlight, SOS via the flashlight, and turning off. Also, take note that after 3 seconds in any mode, pressing the switch will turn the CL2 off. A couple more things I'd like to highlight is that the CL2 has a waterproof rating of IPX5 and also has an impact resistance rating of 1 meter. Now I'd like to share my thoughts about the CL2. This time around though, I won't just be sharing with you what I like and what I don't like, but also what I'm on the fence about, aka what I think is rather meh about it. And let's start with that. What I find meh about the CL2 is the power bank functionality. Since the CL2 is meant to be a camping light, I can see how an additional source of power can come in handy, but then again, not having the power bank function could potentially mean a smaller form factor for the CL2. Plus, if the CL2 is hanging at the top of your tent or from a branch, are you really intending to still use it as a power bank to charge another device? I'm really on the fence about this, but honestly, I'm leaning more towards preferring not having it and having either a smaller form factor or longer battery life. The other thing I find meh about the CL2 is the tripod connector. I don't know if a tripod is a common item you'd take outdoors for a camping trip, and even if you did, depending on the type of tripod you have, you may also need a swivel head attachment in order to properly position the CL2. Having the attachment doesn't take up much real estate anyway, and it's something that is nice to have, I suppose, but I'm not too sure about how much it'll actually be used. The last meh I have about it is the flashlight. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but if I'm going out camping, I'll be sure to pack a flashlight with me. One that would sit comfortably in my pocket, not this large-sized item. On top of that, it goes back to what I mentioned earlier about having one less feature and instead potentially having either a smaller form factor or a longer battery life. I don't know, this is really just personal preference, but I can't see how having this flashlight feature on a camp light is a key selling point. I get the SOS function, but it's not like flashlights can't do the same either. Now, what I don't like about the CL2. The main thing I don't like about the CL2 is the all-plastic construction. It definitely helps to keep it light, And while it has the 1 meter impact resistance, in all honesty, it doesn't feel sturdy. The part that I'm worried about are the light panels. The hinges don't elicit much confidence, and when they're all folded up, they still kind of wiggle around quite a bit, and overall, it just doesn't feel good. The other thing about the all-plastic construction is that this has a shock-proof rating of 1 meter, but you're marketing this to be an overhead camp light, and overhead is the key word here. That's definitely going to be more than 1 meter high. Of course, when you're hanging this to be an overhead light, you're going to take precaution and do your best to ensure that this is secure, but hey, accidents may happen in the form of, say, strong winds or an accidental bump somewhere, and this would come crashing down, likely with all the light panels unfolded as well, from a height of maybe about 1.5 meters. Finally, what I like about the CL2, aka the pros. The first thing I like about it is how nicely diffused the main camp light is. You can even consider using it as part of your light setup for photographs or videos. The next thing I really like about it is the battery life. According to Klarus's spec sheet, the CL2 boasts a battery life of 4 hours and 45 minutes on the high setting for the camp light mode. I tested it out and got to about 4 hours and 30 minutes, which is actually pretty awesome. But it can be potentially better if there weren't other features like the power bank or the flashlight. Okay, sorry, I'm just being greedy here. The last thing I really like about the CL2 is the large coverage of the camp light mode. In the cool white high setting, it basically turns into a mini floodlight and it really lights up an entire area. And those are my thoughts on the CL2. As we wrap up the video, we have to talk about the price point. The Klarus CL2 is retailing at 89 Singapore dollars. However, this time around, I'm not going to say if I think it's worth the price point because I view this as a pretty niche product for specific use cases. It's definitely cool to have in my opinion, but I don't spend time camping outdoors, so I am in no position to share anything from that perspective. I believe this is one of those products where you'll know from the moment you come across it if this is something that would be a great pickup. For me, I'm definitely going to use this as part of my lighting setup since it's so portable and has such good diffusion. And that is it everyone. Thank you so much for sharing in this slice of my life. If you enjoyed this video, then clicky the likey. Please also hit the sub and the bell to be notified whenever I post new content. I'd like to take this opportunity to give a huge shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. And of course, I'd like to thank Klarus once again for the opportunity to check out the CL2 Camp Light. And I will catch all of you in my next slice. Bye!